This is CJ with former U.S. District Court Judge Jim Rosenbaum. And you can learn a lot about him and the court system by asking questions regarding TV shows. Rosenbaum now works as a private judge, mediating and arbitrating complicated cases. He claimed to be nervous. That's an emotion commonly experienced by lawyers and witnesses during Rosenbaum's 25 years on the federal bench, despite his affable demeanor.
Yes, I'm clammy.
Are you nervous?
A little.
Why? He doesn't be nervous.
I think to myself, all of my money is onshore. I've been with one woman for almost 50 years, and you can look at anything I got, so okay.
You outpunted your coverage on that woman, didn't you?
I seriously outpunted my coverage on that one. I married way better than myself.
When did you first lay eyes on her?
I was working in Chicago as a Vista. I'm a civil rights lawyer, and I come back from lunch one day, and there is this woman. This girl is sitting there, and I said, good God. I said, who is that? And they said, she's a lawyer, and she wants to work here, and you have to interview her. And that was years ago. That was when the resume told you what you wanted to know. It said she'd never been married, and it said that it gave her age. It was like buying a horse, you looked at the teeth and everything else. And of course, she didn't take the job. Marilyn wanted to live and work with Native Americans, and she actually went down to Four Corners region. But the deal for her would have been, they gave her a trailer to live in, but she had to live on the reservation for 2 solid years. And she was not going to leave her mom and her sisters. And so she came back, and when she came back, she took the job that she had turned down. And about several years later, I realized she was a woman, and we started to meet each other. Now, what are you laughing at?
Like you, 2 years later, you realized she was a woman. You realized that right away.
Maybe I spotted it.
I'm guessing that she can overrule anything at home that you do?
Madam, that's the best guess you ever made in your life. I know many rules, and one of them is I know who's the boss.
Now, she retired too?
Marilyn retired at 70 because Minnesota has a dumb law, and you cannot continue to be a judge in Minnesota after age 70. You can do kind of recall work. Marilyn left the courthouse on her 70th birthday, and that was the end of her career as a judge. And now she is a grandmother of 9 and very happy about it.
I was watching The Bachelor last night, and I was reminded that the previous bachelorette was a woman named Rachel Lindsay, and her daddy is a judge in Texas.
Oh, I remember that.
Mm-hmm. What would you have done if your daughter said they wanted to go on that ABC show?
I remember there was once a reporter for the Strib, and she took a look and saw one of my daughters. My wife married me because all of my genes are recessive, so I turned out 3 daughters who looked just like their mama. And that reporter said to me, is that your daughter? And I said, yeah. She said, get a gun. I still remember those words. Wow. What would I have done? If that's what they wanted to do, I guess I would have let them do it because it wasn't my choice. But I think I probably would not have been the happiest I might have been.
I can't imagine letting any of my kids go on that show.
Well, happily, I've never seen the show, so...
Well, good. Keep it that way. I was watching a rerun of The Good Wife. Did you watch that show?
No, ma'am.
You didn't watch that show either?
No.
You don't watch any TV?
I already have a good wife. I don't need to look at another one.
That's good. That's good.
I watch on a regular basis is Game of Thrones.
Okay. That one's, I don't think I'm old enough to watch that one. I've heard about it. It's kind of scary. I was watching a rerun of The Good Wife, and this judge said to one of the attorneys, I'm the one who makes jokes around here.
Yes, no,
is that just TV or is that real life?
It depends. And when I say it depends on who the lawyers are. There are some lawyers who are very accomplished, and they know that they're accomplished, and the judges know that they're accomplished, and they can do things that people who don't know what they're doing can't do. You don't want to one-up a judge. It's not, and the reason is not so much for the judge. Juries tend to very much identify with the judge. And if you start acting in a way that seems disrespectful, the jurors don't like it. I can back that up for years, many years, and I don't know if the court still does it, but we used to send questionnaires to jurors. How was your experience? Did the clerks treat you well? How did you see the lawyers? What did you think of the judge? We quit asking about it because they loved the judge. And none of us were that. Even our wives don't think we're even close to that good. And jurors will tend to identify with the judge, so you want to be very careful in how you handle that.
Do you think that you can do as many push-ups as RBG?
Maybe. It's appalling, but I think she's in better shape.
Wow. That's a tough little old lady. What is something you miss doing with my buddy Ron?
I miss doing a lot with my brother. I lost my brother, it'll be 2 years in May. And what I miss right now, in this wonderful political climate in which we're operating, my brother would, this was meat and potatoes. I must 3 times a day say, good God, I wish I could call him and talk about